Bonjour mesdames et messieurs. In this episode I want to show you how to make a long exposure without using any ND filters. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm a French photographer from the amazing, the incredible city of Paris, France. But right now I'm in Malibu, California, and I want to show you just a little trick where you can use the right camera settings to do long exposure of sunset without any filters. So let's do some photography together in El Matador Beach, California. Okay, so the trick to do a long exposure when you don't have a filter, especially when there's a sunset. Right now the sun is right at the horizon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the f-stop on f22, so I close the light, and I'm gonna put my ISO the lowest possible. So if you can, go to ISO 50. A lot of cameras now have what they call extended ISO, where you can put your ISO down at 50. You can see here, I'm at 50 ISO, f22, half a second, and I put it on bracketing mode, so it's gonna take 3 photos. I put it on self timer, and boom, it takes 3 photos, 1, 2, 3. And you see we get all the wave. I like the overexposed photo. The overexposed photo is going to be good for the long exposure, and the under photo is going to be great for the sun. And I'm going to mix them. Okay, now I just wait for the water to come, like this one. Now, it's perfect. The whole trick when you do this is to really find the right composition. So sometimes what I do, this is a tripod that is really made for the water. I only use it in the water, so I don't care if it gets salty. And I try to go low so that we have the long exposure, you know, in the foreground. You know, might work, might not work, let's see. Also, when it gets darker, you don't have to be at f22. Right now, I'm at f18, and I'm going to 1 second. But what I want to do is, I don't want to have too long exposure, because then you lose all the movement of the water. So my faster shutter speed is going to be half a second divided by 2, which is a quarter of a second. Divided by 2 is 1/12 of a second. So that's my underexposed photo. My normal photo is half a second, and my overexposed photo is going to be half a second multiplied by 2, so 1 second multiplied by 2, meaning 2 seconds. I don't want to go over that, because then you get too long exposure and you don't see the shape of the water. I find it nicer. You gotta have the right shoes. So now I'm gonna try to make some long exposure with the other side of the sunset, which is more pink, and it's gonna be a different setting. So let's see if we can do a good photo there. So sometimes you have to wait for the water like this to come up. You know, you have to wait for the water to flow around the rocks, and just keep on shooting. Once you got a nice framing, just keep on shooting, you know, so you play around with the flow of the water until you have some nice leading lines. We are lucky because the water is coming up, so it's gonna be nice. All right, so I'm gonna take a couple of more photos with this technique, and then let's go back to Lightroom and see how they look and what we can do with it. Follow me. All right, so we are back from El Matador Beach, and let's look at some of the photos we got with this technique of long exposure without ND filters. So remember, every time I did some bracketing, but it was also to show you, you know, the difference, you know, of the power of the shutter speed and finding the right shutter speed. So let me retouch this photo. So that's the first one that I kind of like. I'm not going to show everyone, because there was a, you know, it's all about the framing and how the wave actually reacts. This one I think I kind of like. So on this one I'm just going to open up the shadows, and I'm going to bring down the highlights, not completely, because when the sun is in the shot I don't like to bring the highlights completely down now. I've evolved on that. Maybe do my black point, holding the option key, make sure I don't have too much black point, and making my white point, make sure I'm not burning the sky, something like this. I like that. White balance, I'm going to go to daylight, because I find it's more natural to have a bit of blue, and then have, I like what the daylight does to the water. And then maybe I'm going to go to shade to show you the difference. See shade, now we don't have any more blue in the sky. So I'm going to go to daylight and maybe just add a little bit of magenta because I'm crazy about magenta. Now I want to put more attention. I think the photo is a little too dark. But instead of making it brighter globally, I'm going to take a radial circle, which I'm going to make here, and I'm going to basically go to exposure. It's going to put all my settings down to 0. I'm going to invert the circle, so whatever I'm doing here, it only happens in that circle. And around the sun, what I want to do is I just want to add some more yellow and some more magenta, maybe a bit of saturation. But you see how it goes on the rocks? I don't like this, so there's a new option which I really like, which is here in Arrange Mask. I can go to Luminance, and I can move this to the right, and now the effect is going to be behind, because it's going to create a mask. If you hold on the Option key, you can actually see the mask. And remember, black reveals, white conceals. So what you want is a white sky and a black rock. So the black rock, white sky, and now the effect of that circle is only, on the sky. If I look at the before that circle and after, you see it's kind of very subtle. It just make a little more attention on the sun. Okay, let me put it back on. Okay, and you see now we have a whole bunch of nice wave here. I think that deserves a little bit more attention, so I'm going to go here to my brush and take a little brush, make sure the feather at 100% flow and density around 80, not too big of a brush, and I just want to put a little bit more emphasis on some of this brush here. And usually I kind of overdo it so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna underdo it. And don't do it everywhere. I think it's just, all I want to do is put a little more emphasis on some of this water thing, and because that's really how it looks. Just the eyes goes to the brightest part of the photo, so interesting. Okay, that's way too strong. I think I'm gonna go, usually I go at 0.5. That's like 0.5 is usually the limit where you can see it. So I'm liking this photo. I am actually really liking it. I think this one will do really well on social media. Maybe add a bit more contrast, a bit more exposure. And I think the one more thing I want to do on this one, not too much exposure, is I want to make the sky darker. So I'm going to take a linear gradient here, and I'm going to go and lower the exposure and add some blue. And again, it's doing this on the rocks, but I kind of like what it's doing on the rocks there. Let me see, before the gradient, after. Actually, what it does on the rocks, sometimes it's too strong, so I can always go there into luminance and just erase the effect on the rocks, or not. We'll see. Yes, and I really like that photo. So when I have something that I like, maybe a little more magenta on, or a little more yellow, it's a little too blue to me. And at this point, my eyes adapt so much that I don't know what is what. I didn't add any vibrance, so maybe a bit of vibrance and saturation, just a little bit to make it more crazy, make it more California. Yeah, and if you think there is too much saturation on this, on the sun, you can just lower the saturation. It's really a process of going back and forth, and looking. Your eyes adapt. Like sometimes I don't see if I put too much saturation on that, so I have to look at the photos and come back to it. But for now, I like it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Command-Shift-C to take everything into account that I've did except the brush. I don't want the brush because the brush is going to be very different from one photo to another. This is the underexposed photo. You don't see much, but if I open up the shadows or the highlights, you see, we still get some nice waves here. This is your overexposed photo, and you see I don't like it that much because now it's just like a foam. If I press Command V to put the retouching that we did, it's not going to work because we have to do a bit of adjustment, but it's, maybe put the highlights down. But I like it more when we see more shapes like this. I think it's more interesting. So let's see. Let me show you some of the photos that I got that day. Now that I have this. This one I don't like because there is too much sand. I think what's nice is the water. So same one, but with the water coming up. So this one I did a bit of retouching on it. Let me reset it and let me redo it. Yeah, I don't like it. It's just too much water. It's not balanced. It's all about a balance. There's not enough foreground anymore. It's kind of cool. Look at the lone, this one could be nice just like as a high key lone exposure thing. Why not? It could work. Making my blacks really strong. Just like that. Could be an interesting photo. This is when I went the other side, with this technique. Let me press Command V on this. So we have a base. Okay, Command V is copying what you did, so I have to redo my black point now. Yeah, black point, I hold on the option key, it's too much. I have to redo my white point. Now white points, I can go really far on this one. I'll go to the limit, yeah. Okay, maybe make it brighter. Oops, not that bright. Yeah, you have to, this you know, settings are so powerful and so strong. On this one, I think that my little radial circle is crazy, plus the sun was not here. So you know what, I'm just going to erase it completely. And on this one, I might, let me see, I might actually boost the whites even more. Just a little bit more. And then let's take a little brush and let's play the game of the brush, because there is a lot of nice wave here. You know, I just want to have more emphasis. So at first I overdo it, so I see where I brush, and then I underdo it, so it's more natural. You want it to be natural. Look how unnatural that is, because it's 0.94. But if I go down to now the 0.40 or 30, it looks much more natural. Okay, and contrast, maybe add a bit more contrast and really make this photo brighter, like this. Yeah, I kind of like that. This one is kind of fun. I like this. You see, so that's now the 3-second exposure. You see, you don't see the shape anymore. You don't see the shape anymore like you see here, where you can see. So that's what's good with half a second. I love half a second. Let's press I to make sure we were half a second, but I'm pretty much sure, looking at the wave, I was. So, you know, yeah, half a second, perfect. Okay, let's see what else we got here. This one I don't think I like. It's too much sand, not enough water. I don't like this one. There was one last one. I think that's about it. Yeah, same idea. This one is kind of okay. But it was getting really dark, so we're, you know, missing some lights here. And let's see, this one I see I retouched. Yeah, this one's not bad. So Command V to copy what we did. It's way too dark, so I'm going to boost the blacks. I'm going to boost the whites to redo our thing. The white balance is not good. I'm going to go to daylight on this one, maybe just pure daylight. Yeah, I'm going to make it brighter. But, you know, as it gets darker, you get a lot more contrast. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I prefer the other one. I think I was a little too late on this one. Let me, you know, put a little bit of brush strokes here. You know what, on this one, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to add a lot more brush, because I think the water is way too dark. And what you can do also when you brush, one cool thing is you can add some minus clarity. That's going to help diffuse the light, make it kind of a bit of glowy. And I'm going to lower this again around 0.5. Yeah, all right, so at the end of the day, I got this one. I got this one, which I like a lot. And I think my favorite would be the first one. I don't know, this one's really cool. Yeah, this one is really nice too. Voila, so that's how you do lone exposure without an in-filter. If you like this video, please give it a like. Also, you can get my welcome kit. The link is going to be below the video. What that is a whole bunch of presets, skies, textures. It's free with a whole bunch of tutorials on how to use them. You have to be on Messenger, you have to be on Facebook to get it. You just click the link and you'll get an invitation on Facebook. And so you can play around with some of this type of photography, because I'm going to give you some raw files too in the welcome kit. Voila, I hope you find this interesting. I hope you're going to go and take some photos like this, you know, and, you know, just be at f22, lowest ISO possible, and play around with this half a second magic shutter time. If you like the video, give it 2 thumbs up, give it 1 like, and please leave me a comment and tell me what you would like to learn about photography, Lightroom, or Photoshop. I looked at every comment. I try to answer. This is really where I get my inspiration to do my next videos, and I try to do like 2 or 3 a week these days. Thank you so much, guys, for being there, and I'll see you in another video.